Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast, it's like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.
What's up, guys? What's cracking? The Con Man, and I'm in your house. We here. We ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are with the shits, because, hey, we're with the shits. And we're ready to talk a little wrestling. That's right. You already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And, guys, you already know them vibes. We are back once again, giving y'all that work when it comes to professional wrestling. And it don't stop. The motion stay. You know what I'm saying? And we're already up here. We got my man, the voice, Josh Joseph. He's ready for the Sunday house party. We don't have him on this episode. He's got adulting to do. And, that's the case with a lot of us. But even when we have that adulting, we still find time to give y'all that content. You already know. This past Friday, we had the interview drop from Misa Kate, and she's a former NWA World Tag Team Champion, and she just left the company. So what's going on through her mind? What's her thought process? What's going to be the next move for Misa Kate? To figure something out like that, you have to listen to that interview that we dropped on the podcast and on YouTube this past Friday on the In Your House Podcast Network and on our YouTube feed. So go check that out. It was a great interview. Tomorrow we will have a huge episode. We will have Donovan Dijak live. That's right, live for you guys, the household, to ask questions in the chat. If the questions are good enough, we will ask Dijak. You want to be a part of this one. It's going to be huge, 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 huge. We have a lot of interviews coming up. We have Big Zo coming up on Friday, OVW's Big Zo. Then the week after that, we have ECW legend Bill Alfonso. Voice did a really great job getting with that cat, interviewing him, and it was just a great conversation. But with all the content we're giving y'all, we actually just added a new show, and that's gonna be happening a lot, y'all. I just want to keep you guys in the loop, let you guys know what's going on. There's gonna be a lot of adding of content with the people that we are involving, and we had just put out a now hiring type thing. We're looking for a female co-host. We appreciate y'all for real. We really do, because y'all pulled up on that, and it was so just crazy the way that these ladies want to be a part of this. They love wrestling. We want to get their voices out there. I'm loving it. It was beautiful. It really was that type of energy that was put towards that post. So we got some things working for sure. But another new show that we did just this past Friday, it was actually one of our newest members here of Team In Your House. He's here today to talk a little bit of Smackdown. That was the Grunmeister, Grun's Room, as we did his Smackdown preview review show. And now he's come back here. We're going to talk some Smackdown. What's up, Grun?
Yo, what's up, Howse? How you doing?
Doing good, bro. Doing good. You did a great job on that Smackdown preview review show, man. Thank you for adding some content to the network, bro.
Thank you very much, and yeah, I'm happy to do it.
We appreciate it, man. We're gonna talk some Smackdown today. We got a lot of exciting stuff moving here In Your House. Of course, we have Dijak coming tomorrow, man. It's almost like it's weird because I'm like, man. Yesterday, I was like, wow, we're really 48 hours from talking to Dijak. Like, I don't think it's really hit yet, but, like, I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, this is insane. This is big.
Yes, man. It's going to be a great interview. Excited to have him on. But another person we're excited to always have on, I talked to him a little bit on the phone. And, I kind of put this comparison on him. I'm like, with the way that he does the show as much as he does it, mainly because he's busy and booked, and he's a champion with a major, with a semi-major promotion, and then he still travels and does international travels. I kind of compared him to the Anthony Davis In Your House. We don't get him all the time, but when he does come in, he puts up generational numbers. The world's most dangerous podcaster, Paragon, returns to In Your House. How's it going, bro?
I see dead people. What's it on the beat, ho? Get up, Kyle. Cut it off. Cut it off.
What? No, you can't just cut it off like that.
It's me. It's Vitamin and Pissed Off P. We are in the place to be, and that is in your house on this Sunday morning. How y'all doing, baby? How y'all doing? You know, I had to get, so I can't use my regular intro music. You know, I figured, since Mr. Morale decided that he was gonna make it copyright free, then why not every time I come in this bitch, I let them know, psst, I see dead people. Baby did it. I'm just saying, and I don't care. For the people saying that they tired of hearing the song and they're like, oh, it's overplayed. He's milking it. How can someone milk something when he dropped the song 1 month? The following month, he did one performance of it, mind you, 6 times, but one performance of it, and then the following month, he did the music video. He ain't milking it. That's just music, baby. Like here's what's killing me. Like, I'm about to go Maryland with it. Stupid. This was killing me about it like that. Back in the day, Macarena and Spice Girl and We Hang With Some Pillow and all these damn songs that played for years. When I tell you, Gin and Juice had like a 3 to 4 year like playtime, and they mad.
People still play it. People still play it. And they mad about people being fans of music. Like, nah, I'm not hearing it. Let's get into it. I'm ready to talk some wrestling. Hell, we could talk some Smackdown because some stuff went on, and can't nobody stop me. If you got a problem with it, then you not like us. You not like us. All right. He's the undisputed king of the West. I'm here to let y'all know right now. I can tell you as somebody who got ear to those streets, he's the undisputed king of the West.
And this right here says I'm the undisputed king of Indiana, and it says that if you think you're the undisputed king of the Midwest, step up and understand why anybody can get it.
Man, there it is right there. The beautiful Emerge World Heavyweight Championship. We're definitely going to talk about that as we get later on in the show, man. And we got to pop in real quick. My man, he stayed busy, man. He was really just out there last night, like roasting my homie, Brian Allen West. Like, dang, bro, like for real. Like, I've been knowing that brother since like 2016. And I know he asked for it because he crazy like that. Brian Allen West is crazy. We got love for him. So happy birthday to him. But the roast that he was getting roasted on, he was getting that ass toasted, and that was by the host of it all. That's our boy Hypocrisy Jones, coming back and dipping in real quick into In Your House.
Yo, what's up, household? What's up, everybody? Yo, I'm just in here for a minute just to pop in, like my man Khan said, but I just want to share love and give love to the household and everybody that's out there. I know we're grinding, doing a whole lot of things. Yeah, I roasted my homie last night, but it was all love. I wish everybody could have been there, but great news. We will be putting that out there for your consumptions at some point. So be on the lookout for that, and then be on the lookout for everything that the household is doing right here, yo. It's all love right here. I'm on the road doing stuff. You see my kid back there.
We see chillings. We see cheerings. We see some cheerings. All right, man. We'll let you do what you got to do. We appreciate you popping in, man. And we'll catch you when we talk to Dijak, bro.
Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
I love. Peace out. Peace out. All right, guys. That was Hypocrisy Jones. But we got to get right into this SmackDown real quick. And we got other things to talk about. So SmackDown, I feel like SmackDown really set up a lot of things moving towards SummerSlam. One big thing that I kind of saw, because they started the show with it. So Tiffany Stratton, of course, is Miss Money in the Bank. She did not come out with the bedazzled briefcase. I am a little bit confused by that. I thought it would have been bedazzled and barbied up by now, but it isn't. Maybe we work towards that. And I almost thought we weren't, Grun, because we almost got a cash in the very same night. She thought about it. What did you think about this segment? What do you think? What do you think about Nia Jax? What do you think about BBL Bayley? Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing, man? It's as a, you know what? Just as a matter of fact, yeah.
BBL Bayley, it's flipping the bread. We ain't on podcast doing our thing. She got that swing, play back and forth and swing. Nia Jax talking shit, and she getting really mean. I'm like, BBL Bayley, oh, that booty drive me crazy. I want you to be my lady. I'll be in that on the daily. BBL Bayley.
All right. Here we go. That's the thing. That's the thing that happened on SmackDown, y'all. That's the thing. Grun, where was you at with this segment, bro?
I thought it was a good segment. We got Tiffany some promo time, and we got fans' feelings on her cashing in. So clearly, fans are definitely gonna be excited, hoping that she does win. And I thought this was very interesting how Nia comes back like, "Yo, what are you doing? What you doing?"
Yeah, she's like,
doing? That's my title. That's my title. And she was like, "Oh no, I didn't know there was a clip put up. I guess after the show, and Tiffany was just saying, "No, I was asking the referee about the rules with the briefcase because I'm new to this.
She's so slick, bro. She's slick.
She's slick, and so we're definitely getting a Nia Tiffany match down the line. I just did not think they were going to tease it this soon.
Well, man, it's crazy because I know that we were in the group chat back and forth about it as SmackDown was on, and one thing that I noticed, I was like, man, Tiffany Stratton is over. And I know, like, I get that she's over, but I mean, like, it felt like she was kind of over as a baby face because, like, the crowd was just, like, so happy that she got the briefcase. Everybody, like, felt like it was right. And, like, it's just one of those things where, like, yeah, like, she's, like, bitchy. Like, her character is to be bitchy.
Yeah.
But, like, we like that about her. Like, we enjoy that about her, man. Like, so, what you, because you seem like you got something on your mind. What are you thinking, man?
Yeah, it's a strange era. Like Cody Rhodes even said, like, if you want to be like a full-blown real heel, you need to go nuclear. Dominic Mysterio went nuclear on his dad. That's why he's got so much heat.
Yeah.
And Rhea Ripley heel, but she didn't go nuclear with it because like it just wouldn't make sense for her character, but maybe she should have gone nuclear, but we're in an era where fans just are looking to enjoy the show. If you're very good at the character that you're supposed to be playing, fans are just going to cheer for it. And
that's the key right there. I think that's the key. I don't think it's a matter of, in this day and age, being a good heel or bad heel, though that does play a part in it. It's gotten to the point where you even see it on the indies, where if you are just good at what you do, you can make the crowd side with you. You can be a good heel, but because of your heel work, people are like, man, I like what you do. Because of your character work, people are like, man, I like what you do. I mean, before I held this Emerge Championship, I had something where I'm like, yo, like, I'm out here raking people's eyes. I hit somebody with a chair. I'm low blowing and cheating. And people are still cheering me. And I asked somebody about it, and they were like, it might be because they like what you do. It's not that you're not being dastardly. It's not that you're not going nuclear and disrespectful and this and that. It's just they like what you do. Because think about it. There have been times where we've seen people go nuclear and they still got cheered. I think the issue we have to address is you need somebody who can be just as a nuclear balance for you. You need the extreme baby face to go against the nuclear heel. And an example of that was when we had Rock and Cody. Cody was the chosen by fans nuclear babyface. And because of that, and we were like, we don't want The Rock. And The Rock said, you don't want The Rock? The Rock's going to show you what happens. We don't want The Rock. And he went final boss, and he went nuclear with it. It's not a matter of you have to really cross lines. You can do the same stuff you've always done as a heel without having to go all the way out there. I think you just have to have a perfect foil. If you don't have a baby face that's charismatic enough to offset you, you're going to get loved as if you're the baby face. But watch people misunderstand that and turn you baby face, and the fans are going to be like, no, we liked you as a heel. We like the stuff that you were doing as a heel. Now that you're doing baby face stuff, we don't like you as much. And you see it all the time.
Yeah. No, you make a good point, man. You make a good point. I think that it's a thing where it's like this kind of started overseas with Tiffany is kind of where it started. This started overseas with her. I believe it was the Elimination Chamber, and people just got behind her, and they've been kind of riding that ever since. You know what I'm saying? So it's become a thing where Tiffany is become organically over, it feels like. But at the same time, we still have Nia Jax. Nia Jax is, I gotta say it, Nia Jax is currently on a hell of a run. I mean, she just really is. I mean, the BBL Bayley line was just crazy. She, you know, they're really putting her in a position where they're telling the right stories with her, and it seems like organically she's just being herself, and it works. It's hitting, it's clicking. She picked up a victory over Michin, who is just kind of popping up at places. I want to have that conversation real quick. Michin, she's popping up. She's having, you know, banger street fights with Jada Parker. She's just pulling up with the kendo stick and just whooping people's asses. What are we doing with Michin right now? Are we thinking of putting her in this main event type mix or something like that? Or are we testing the waters with her? Because now we're seeing her stand on her own, and she's starting to get like putting herself in prominent positions on the show. What do you think about? What's your thoughts on what we're doing with Michin? Where's the direction?
So I do like that they're giving Michin this edge of she's willing to do hardcore. She's willing to come in headstrong. I think there could be a long-term story with this of Michin keeps trying to be this baby face that's going to stand there for everybody, trying to stand up for everybody, support everybody. And she's going to get to a point where when she needs help and she feels like nobody's there, I feel like she's going to snap and turn on people. She may align herself with a Nia or with a Tiffany Stratton, because it's one of those things of, at least I knew what was coming at me with them, but I never knew who was coming with me, you know, on the side of who's going to support me. Because I think we've seen her run out for Naomi. We've seen her run out for Bayley. We've seen her run against Nia. And so it's becoming this theme of like, hey, I'm trying to help you guys. Where's my backup and support? And think about it. She doesn't have the OC like she had before. AJ's doing his own thing and beefing with everybody. And so it's like, okay, I'm trying to potentially find my people, find my tribe, find who's going to help me. And it looks like everywhere I turn, no one's there for me. I would like for some more wins to pick up, but I think it also goes down to who they're in the ring with. Nia can't afford to lose right now because Nia has to have momentum going into SummerSlam, especially as Queen of the Ring, especially as both King and Queen of the Ring have kind of been off of TV, with the exception of maybe promo appearances. You can't have Tiffany Stratton eating a lot of losses, because that used to be the curse of both King of the Ring and Money in the Bank, is you win and you lose, you win and you lose, you win and you lose. Like those two things used to be like painful to watch, because I'm like, why are you good enough to win King of the Ring and Money in the Bank, but then you can't do anything but lose? And then we saw it kind of with Queen of the Ring, because Zelina Vega kept losing outside of that tag team title win that she got. And so, you know, so it's like, who do you beat? Well, you can't beat the debuting Blair Davenport, which was surprised that Naomi did, but I'm not like upset. We'll get to that. Yeah. But it was just like with Michin, you want her to kind of pick up some wins, and I don't see her doing that as a babyface right now. I think if we tell the story of she's finally just pissed off and had enough, even if it's an anti-hero thing, if Michin steals my shits like anybody can get it, she starts going after baby faces and heels, that may be the thing that kind of sets her over, because if you listen, the crowd reacts to her. The crowd likes her. When she came out, now you could argue she came out with a weapon, so that was one. But she came out, the crowd reacted to it, so the crowd wants to see her. But when do we get that point of the crowd wants to see you versus the crowd wants to see you win? Because I feel like we've seen a lot of times in wrestling, when it got to a point where the crowd wants to see you win and we're not seeing you win, they kind of like zone out.
Yeah, true that. Grun, what's your thoughts on it, man? Because Michin has sparked an interesting conversation.
Yeah. So I definitely think that she's been presented better recently than she has probably in her entire run in WWE. But yeah, like I agree with Paragon. Like we need to see her pick up some wins. At the same time, it needs to be over the right people. It can't be wins over Nia Jax. It can't be wins over Tiffany Stratton. It can't be wins, I would say, even over Blair Davenport. And she's definitely being presented more of a badass. I think I like the idea of slowly turning her heel, because like, well, no one's gonna have my back, so now I just gotta watch my own back. Good luck out there. good luck protecting yourselves against Nia Jax, against people that are teaming up. I ain't saving your ass again.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that because I think you guys are actually making me believe that there's money in a like a loner Michin character. You know what I'm saying? Like her being a loner, like in the very much in the landscape of WWE where stables are a thing. You want somebody to have your back. You want somebody to back you up, to be able, the person that's like, I'm on my own. I've been hurt before. I don't trust you. That causes a different ripple effect because it's different in a landscape where everybody's teaming up and you're the one that's like, I don't want nobody to have my back. I don't want to have nobody's back. I don't want that responsibility. I don't need that responsibility. It's kind of where I'm saying, it's kind of the thing that I'm kind of seeing in the direction of somebody like a Damian Priest. Yeah, he's getting help from the Judgment Day for sure. We're seeing that, but like, he's got so much other drama around him that's taking away from his World Heavyweight Championship. It's going to get to a point where it's like he's going to have to stand on his own 2 feet if he wants to protect his title reign and protect what he's trying to build. So I think there's definitely a story there with Michin of her being a loner. I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing these pop-up Michin appearances because she's somebody that's been kind of fumbled throughout, pretty much throughout the course of her span in WWE. If we can present her in this way and have her turn into this character, she's got the kendo stick. Even our man voice is in here like she could be a Sandman 2.0, swing for the fences. It might not be to the level of a Sandman, but it could be her creating that type of badass type persona in her own way. We all know, before she had to pivot and do different things in the indies and in the beginning of her NXT run, she was the HBIC. You know what I'm saying? So like that should come with like an attitude. That should come with like an edge. Like, why are you the HBIC but you're not edgy? You're not a badass. You're not like you're.
Or
in
why
that
are you the
position
HBIC but you're not collecting the important wins? You may collect wins, but not the important ones. And honestly, I think that could be a key thing, is having her combine Michin with the HBIC, combine those together, have that loner persona of I don't care who you are. If you're in front of me, that makes you in my way. And have her start going through people. And a cool thing that could happen, somebody who's a loner right now is AJ Styles. You put Michin back with AJ Styles because if he's like, now you get it. Now you understand.
Yeah, you see. Yep.
Now you see why I left the OC. Now you see whatever. Now you can ride with me. And then picture a feud between a heel Michin, babyface Bianca, that potentially leads to Bianca and Montez versus Michin and AJ.
Hey, there could be something there. We don't know. There's money there for sure.
And we just saw what AJ was doing in Japan. So like he still got it.
Oh yeah. I didn't doubt that at all. But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. But we gotta move on here. And I don't want to go too deep into this one. I just think there's a conversation there to be had. Legado del Fantasma, I feel like they're doing what they need to do as far as trying to gain momentum, because I feel like as of right now, they've been not even relevant at all, not even a cliff note. It's kind of disappointing because I know what they could be. They switched out members and it was, I don't know, the situation was weird, but they picked up a victory last night against Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. I don't get it personally, but I do want to bring that up because I feel like Baron Corbin, I was not a Baron Corbin fan because I thought his whole thing was one dimensional in the very beginning. Like when he was doing the lone wolf thing, I was like, he's good, but I don't think he could do anything else besides this. And he proved me wrong in the biggest of ways with being Constable Corbin, bum ass Corbin, rich guy Corbin. He's shown his versatility as a character, and also he's a big man wrestler, which even in the man era, like that would have played into his favor. So I don't understand personally, like why Baron Corbin is kind of getting lost in the shuffle, because he's proven to be a guy that will be like, if you give me something, I'm going to turn it into something decent. I'm going to make it watchable. We looked forward to him being a bum, because we know that previously, before the bum character, Baron Corbin was an ass. He was a jerk. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody would piss on this man if he was on fire. So to see him down and out, it was great to see. And he's played every character and done the best he can with it. I don't understand it. Grant, I know you're also a Baron Corbin guy. What's your thoughts on what we're doing with Baron Corbin? He's in this wide tag team with somebody else that's good, like Apollo Crews. I don't understand it, but what do you think?
Well, for one, I'm just glad that he had a really good match with Apollo, and and you actually got to see Baron went flying in this match. He jumped. It's like it was like I'm glad that we saw that, because I think that's going to remind people. Oh, Baron's a really good worker. He's really good in the ring, and Baron, like you said, like he's being underutilized right now. I was glad when he got back to SmackDown, and then it's been quite a few weeks, and this is the most they've done with him so far. I'm hoping this is a turning point where they're going to start doing more with him, even if it's a Strange Bedfellows tag team of Andrade, Corbin, and Cruz teaming up to take on Legado del Fantasma. Like, I'll take that, because at least it's more time for Apollo, it's more time for Corbin, and you can still push which I'm assuming they're pushing for the Andrade Santos Escobar match.
Yeah, I think that's coming for sure, and that in itself will be good to see. I don't know what we're doing with Baron though. I don't know the direction. P, can you give us some thoughts, some insight, man? What are you thinking about what we can do with Baron Corbin? Why this path has been taken with Baron Corbin? Can you give us some insight, man?
Well, for one, I don't want to sleep on Apollo Crews, because he's literally a creative wrestler come to life. Like, I get have the feeling, I get we got love for Baron Corbin, but if we're talking about feelings of fumbled or misused or underused, whatever may have you, I mean, Apollo Crews has been U.S. champion. He has been Intercontinental champion. I mean, he didn't really get to have success in NXT, and then went back down to NXT, and once again still didn't have success. He had the I'm from Nigeria and I have an accent gimmick that no one asked for. Which, mind you, the look was great, but like it was just like, why are we doing the fake accent? It was giving Saba Simba. But you know, it's like, look at Apollo Crews, and the dude has incredible strength on top of incredible athleticism. Like, this dude literally used to do I'm going to deadlift, shoot you up in the air from a back suplex position, but turn you in midair while pushing you, then grab you and power bomb you. Used to be one of his finishers. You know, it's like, so right there within itself, it's like the dude is unreal, and yet we can never see anything come of it. Now, is it because of promo skills? Is it because of, you know, maybe this, that, or the third? Don't know. But I've seen stuff with Apollo where I also felt like, what are we doing with him? And then you get the same thing with, you know, let's say a Baron Corbin, who did get to finally show his diversity and his skills. And now Mofo is literally hopping over the ropes and doing crazy things. And we're looking at them, at least the two of them, as strange bedfellows. But why? I feel like it makes sense. I mean, I think Pac just said, and, you know, in the chat, you know, APA like 2.0. Think about that. Farouk had nothing after leaving the Nation of Domination. JBL had nothing after, I think the team was called the Smoking. No, that wasn't the Smoking Guns. He was part of the they were.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't
know what I'm talking about. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they were the second version of it themselves too. And then they put them in the Acolytes. And then once the ministry broke up, okay, well, now they're the APA. And it's like, I feel like it makes sense of having, hey, we are two big, muscular, or super athletic, or whatever dudes that are underutilized, badasses, that literally, if we want to, and if we put our minds to it, we could do whatever we want in that ring and to whomever in that ring. To me, people probably looked at Ron Simmons and Bradshaw and were like, why are they a tag team?
Like,
and then saw them plowing through people and destroying people. And I'm like, that's kind of what I want to see. I want to see the coming of, they look like strange bedfellows until you see them together. You're like, oh no, that makes sense. I feel like putting them with Andrade what might be where it kind of feels weird, but at the same time, is it though? Once again, 3 guys that feel underutilized, that you think had potential for world championships or had potential to be bigger and haven't reached it. And it's like the inverse of the Job Squad. Because with the Job Squad, they were guys that you didn't think would be champions, and they were always eating losses that got lost in the shuffle. This is the guys who at least should have been in contention for world titles that got lost in the shuffles, and they come together. And it's like, okay, now we're about to take over, do this and do that. I think it could be interesting. I like the idea of them being a tag team. I think Baron Corbin actually does pretty well in tag teams, which we saw with Braun Breaker. I was slightly upset when they broke up, but it was because I felt like in a tag team, you can hide your weaknesses and highlight your strengths. And I felt like we were seeing that. And I feel like we can see that again in this type of tag team. But I do feel like it was necessary to get your established tag team a victory, even if it was by cheating. And with them being heels, of course, they probably need to cheat to beat this team teaming for the very first time. I would have been upset if for the first time this tag team wins. But I like the fact that it looked competitive. I like the fact that it looked like they could win. They could beat them. I mean, yeah, Pac is bringing up, the Radicals. One of the things that made the Radicals work was because, well, one, they were friends. That was the type of thing that made the Radicals work the best. They were friends. But on top of them being friends, they were friends that felt underutilized and under whatever. And out of the Radicals, 2 of them became world champions. One of them became the representation of the light heavyweight division. And the other one became the person who kept getting chicken shit and turned it into chicken salad up until, his final days in the company. So, like, they're an example of what can happen when you allow us to have the ball and roll with it. So, I mean, I'm not against it. I know it may seem confusing at first, but there have been many things in professional wrestling that at first we thought, what is this? And they're like, damn, we like this. I mean, hell, people hear the name Paragon for the very first time in their life, and they think either a dinosaur or a shape. They don't understand that it means the model of excellence and perfection. And then I come out there and I do what I do in that ring, and I go, that's what a Paragon is. And they will associate my name with me, and they'll associate my name with the definition. But at first, you're like, what the fuck is this? It doesn't make sense. I feel like that's what we're getting right now. What the fuck is this? It doesn't make sense. And then we actually saw them tagging, and we're like, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, man. I want to see more Baron Corbin. I think in the right situation, like Hype was saying, make him like the new APA, like just make them badasses. I think that out of the 2, you have Apollo, who I think is the better wrestler. And I think that he could bring something more out of Corbin. But then you have Corbin, who has that edge to him that can help Apollo add that edge to that he sorely needs. So they could bounce off of each other. I think that it can move in the future because, like Grun said, that tag team match was actually better than I expected. It just was. It was
too good, to be honest. It was too good.
Yeah, but we got to move on here just because of time constraints here. LA Knight lined up his challenge for Logan Paul. LA Knight comes out with the contract. It looks like it's signed by everybody except for Logan Paul. So it just makes you think, how far is Logan Paul going to drag this thing out? Logan Paul likes to play head games and likes to be a troll. P, what do you think, man, about this United States Championship match that looks like it's upcoming for SummerSlam, and how is Logan Paul going to drag this thing out?
I truly believe that the whole thing about this Logan Paul situation is they're trying to lead this into SummerSlam because SummerSlam is going to be in Cleveland. And like we were saying before the pod started, he's Cleveland adjacent. He's not from Cleveland. He's Cleveland adjacent. Right. But they're hoping he gets the hometown boy love, the hometown boy pop. In my opinion, he can drag it out all he wants to. I feel like that's just going to be allowing us to get these promos from LA Knight where he's poking the bear to pissing off Paul. And in my hopes and my dreams, this is the moment you finally pull the trigger on LA Knight. Yes, it's the U.S. title, not a bigger one, but you got to kind of start somewhere. And LA Knight hasn't held a single title in either of his WWE runs. This is not his first WWE run. A lot of people don't realize that. So with this being his second run with WWE, you have to start somewhere. And with that saying, if you have to start somewhere, I mean, unless you want to count the $1 million title situation in NXT, but I don't. You have to start somewhere. And with me saying you have to start somewhere, my thought process is, what better way to showcase LA Knight when you have him in a match with one of the most popular people in the world. He may not be the most popular wrestler, but at the same time, on social media, which is what we live by in this day and age, there's more social media fans than there are just regular fans. And LA Knight facing Logan Paul is going to get so much attention just from the fan base that Logan Paul has, as well as for the people who don't like Logan Paul, so they want to see him lose. You put him in that match with LA Knight, and then you let LA Knight win. The star you thought you were making by having him potentially beat Roman actually shines brighter by having him beat Logan Paul, because instead of having LA Knight gain the casual and the hardcore wrestling fans, you're allowing LA Knight to gain the people who know nothing about wrestling, who only came to see Logan Paul. I mean, someone recently said they got upset that people said Jake Paul is doing so much for boxing. No, he's not, because you're not getting more fans watching boxing.
Right.
You're getting more fans watching Jake Paul. So the people that are watching Logan Paul, you can potentially create fans of WWE and LA Knight by having LA Knight beat him on that stage and have a hell of a showing and doing cool stuff. Because I'm pretty sure Ricochet got a bit of a rub from, facing Logan Paul.
He
maybe
did.
He didn't.
That's true.
Didn't. But I feel like he got more social media fans, which caused also people to have a lot more love for Ricochet after that situation. So That's my take on it. I feel like he's going to drag it out, but it's going to get dragged out until LA Knight pushes that red button that pisses him off and makes him decide, okay, we're doing this at SummerSlam.
Man, that's what we get from P. I bring the ball down the court. I give it to him in the corner. He gives us a corner three as we desperately needed it. But this time I'm gonna go ahead and volley it over to Grunmeister for the for throwing it down. We need the big energy from the crowd. So I'm gonna volley it to you, throw it down. What you think, man? What are you thinking about this LA Knight situation and the potential of him and Logan Paul going at it at SummerSlam, which looks like what we're working towards?
So I mean, main thing I think is finally they're giving him a championship match that looks like he's going to win. It's against Logan Paul. It's going to be in his hometown, quote unquote. But I kind of agree with Paragon. Like, I think the only thing that makes sense is that Logan Paul drags this out, because I'm thinking like, yeah, no, that wouldn't make sense. Logan Paul just shows up next Friday night. You're like, okay, here, I signed it. Like, no, like Logan Paul definitely is going to drag this out, probably the week before or the Friday night before SummerSlam. I'm like, he's going to drag this out for a few weeks. And this is, I definitely think this is the time to pull the trigger on LA Knight. If you don't pull the trigger, LA Knight's dead in the water. He's dead in the water if they don't put the title on him at SummerSlam. If they don't do that, do whatever you want with him. Send him back to NXT or release him, because at this point, like, the momentum is barely hot enough for you to keep him as a megastar or keep calling him a megastar, I think.
See, here's the thing with me and LA Knight. I think the LA Knight effect is real. I think it's very real, and I think it's something that WWE knows and they capitalize on. I think that LA Knight is somebody who shows up, and he does his thing every single week. Because remember, let's not forget that the beginning of last year, and before that, this is a guy that was just trying to get TV time. He was literally just trying to get on TV. And now he's evolved to a point where it's because people were like, oh, we want the title on him now. The time to put it on him is when he was at his hottest, blah, blah, blah. Like, but you guys aren't seeing that the real victory that happened in that time span for LA Knight is that he found his spot. He found his consistent spot. He was not warming the bench anymore. He was able to find PT, get in there and get playing time. And that, I think, at that stage in his WWE run, I think that was the goal. Like, everybody's like, oh, we need title, we need this and that. But sometimes it's slow progression, y'all. It's slow motion, right? Like there's definitely times where a wrestler is like, dang, like, yeah, I'd love to be like champion of the promotion, but right now I got to have a small goal for myself, and that's just getting time to be out there and build myself up. Because guess what? If you don't give yourself an opportunity, if you don't be out there in front of the people, how are you going to have title opportunities if people aren't relating to you, seeing you do your thing. So like, let's take it one step at a time and realize that getting on TV needs to be a goal as well, not just winning championships and whatnot, yada, yada, yada. But now we're at a point where it's like things are feeling right for LA Knight. It feels right that LA Knight is in the spot right now where it's like, hey, you're still over live. Maybe the internet doesn't have the boner for you that they had when you, and that's always going to be a thing. Like when you're brand new, when you're a new talent, people gonna have boners for you. They love it. They love that shit. Like for example, Joe Hendry feels new to everybody now, so he's the shiny new toy. But how is Joe Hendry's career going to play out when the internet isn't like fucking with him as much anymore? That's not me wishing no ill will on Joe Hendry. I love what he's doing. I love what he does. But where's Joe Hendry going to be at in 2 years as opposed to right now when his song maybe isn't as over as it is now? So that's just my thoughts on it. LA Knight has been the picture of consistency. Even when the LA Knight thing, people was over on the internet. Once again, like I said, he still gets live reactions. Those live reactions are very real. You got Hype in the chat saying, "Are you over LA Knight?" And he's saying, "Yeah." And I'm saying no, because he's still over live. Live, he still gets those responses and whatnot. He knows how to dazzle the crowd. I think if I can make an early prediction right now, we're definitely going to have a SummerSlam prediction show a little bit down the line as we get closer to that time. But I would say LA Knight walks out of SummerSlam as the United States champion, and all is going to be right with the world. He's going to have another SummerSlam moment after he won a Battle Royal, a SummerSlam Slim Jim Battle Royal. And when he won, everybody acted like he won the championship at WrestleMania off of a meaningless Battle Royal. So like he still got it. So I don't know. That's what I think about it. But we gotta move forward here, y'all. We gotta talk a little bit about. Let's just glaze over the Naomi Blair Davenport situation. I know we talked about it. I don't want to get too in depth about that because we really have to break down like the tag title match and then the Bloodline stuff, and that's gonna take up the rest, like mainly the rest of our episode. But Blair Davenport makes her debut, I believe it was, and she loses. Grun, what are you making of that whole situation?
I definitely wouldn't. I definitely would have had Blair win. But it seems like they are more building for a Naomi Blair Davenport feud. I think Naomi's going to go over in it, but I think it's going to be a way to get Blair more time on TV, more promo work, more matches, and get her more exposed.
Yeah. I think right now, just like I said, with LA Knight at that stage of his career, I think that Blair Davenport is at the stage in her career where she's just looking to find ways to stay relevant and get some playing time. You know what I'm saying? Get on the field, get on the court, get in the ring, and have those opportunities to build up her character. P, as somebody who's been up and down a card, for many different promotions, you've been on many different parts of the card, from just trying to find a spot to main eventing. What do you think about that stage of these cats' careers, and what do you think about Blair Davenport and what we could see with her?
Well, I think it was important to have Naomi win here because Naomi is a multi-time former women's champion. So you would hope that she'd be able to beat somebody in their debut. And then we saw it started a whole feud. And it also started the way that you would want one to start with Blair Davenport. She's not going to attack you from the front. She's going to attack you from the back. I feel like that makes more of a statement than her winning her first match. So I think that's part of it. Also, you can't have Naomi always losing to the people that get called up because she lost Tiffany. But I feel like it is a real thing. Like when you get into the business, when you get into your first couple of like swings at professional wrestling, you are trying to just make your name. You're trying to get the audience to want to pay attention to you, to like you. Pretty much you are a product. You're trying to convince people why they should invest and buy your product. And I feel like when you're trying to do that, you're not worried about at first being the best and the top product. You're worried about, hey, I just want people to purchase enough so I can break even. It would be nice to be the name brand that everybody's buying into, I'm Ranch, okay, and I want to be Hidden Valley Ranch because they're the main one, okay, but at the same time, I can be Kraft, Hell, I could be the Kroger brand. I could be the whatever. I just want to make sure people are buying my product. So I think right now a lot of it is people are trying to get someone to buy into their product in hopes that they can make some revenue off of it. They can make some noise, make some buzz or whatever. And like Raj said in the chat, he thinks Naomi was the great call. And I think that is the perfect thing to actually truly get her on Naomi's radar, because Naomi beating you, she has no reason to look at you after that. I beat you, I move on. Blair's like, yeah, you beat me. I'm gonna make sure you remember me though. So,
hey, good point. I agree with that. Naomi, that's somebody me and Voice have talked about, is of how Naomi works her way up the card and works her way up to championship opportunities. She has these seemingly meaningless matches week to week, and she wins them, and she slowly builds up a resume for herself that's like, okay, yeah, but I've been winning this and this and that. So now, like, it makes sense that I'm in the title hunt. Like, she's very sneaky in that way. And I like that about Naomi. I do. I really do. So I think that, yes, not every, I see it now. I see it like not every debut needs to be a win. Maybe a debut needs to be a statement. And I think that that's kind of what we saw with Blair Davenport. So yeah, I think that's the lane right there. Blair Davenport. I wasn't saying that this loss is hurting her, but I just want to see momentum with Blair Davenport because I do think she's good. I do think she's talented. But let's move on to the next match here, which was the main event of the evening. DIY, newly crowned tag team champions. I love to see it personally. It was great to see them win those titles. I was saying that when they first got together, they had a couple of opportunities at the tag titles on Raw, and I was like, oh, now it's going to be the time, and it was never the time. It was time on SmackDown. It felt right. They're telling this story here with A-Town Down Under and everything with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller looking like he's not really for Austin Theory the way that Austin Theory is for Grayson Waller. I think we've all had a friend like that in our lifetime. That's like, you know what? I'm more your friend than you my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like we've all had that, and like so it's relatable in that way. And at least for the moment, it gives Austin Theory something to do. Who respectfully, you know, Austin Theory, friend of the show, former In Your House guest, but respectfully just hasn't like been interesting on his own. And it's a thing where it's like, how can we make this guy pop? He's very solid in the ring, but like we can't get people to care about him for more than like a couple of weeks. You know, how can we keep it at the point where he's up in people's mouths so we care about him? I don't know. But the story here really is the retaining of the titles from DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa winning championship, but can't quite get that RKO on Randy Orton. He's going to keep on trying, and I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but he's going to keep on going. But you know, the story here is Jacob Fatu, period, because he just came in, cleaned house, destroyed everybody. You know, once again, I have to make reference to the fact that when he came down and destroyed Austin Theory, look who got up out the way. It was Grayson Waller. Just saying, he got out of Dodge. But then it was the tag champions who just got that ass beat. Like, my God. And then we got a chance to see, this was obviously an opportunity an opportunity to show a little bit of what Jacob Fatu can do, his intensity, his athleticism, because we saw some of those springboard moonsaults. We saw, you know, him doing his version of the prettiest moonsault ever, the most Samoan moonsault ever, whatever you want to call it, whatever. But we saw those displays and he just destroyed. And then that led us to, you know, everything that happened with the Bloodline and Cody. Grun, you saw it. You was taking it all in. What'd you think of everything that happened in the main event leading into the main event segment?
I think we're Grayson Waller is gonna have to really explain himself, because I don't remember him being he wasn't attacked at all. He just ran.
He saw it coming. He saw it coming and said
he got out.
And now I understand that, but it's like you left your boy there. You left your boy. Yeah. You did not protect your boy. And then you then with the Bloodline attacking Cody and Randy, I'm like, it's being made very clear. Roman did everything to prove that he was tribal chief, to prove that he was better than everyone on the roster. Solo's not proving anything. Solo's just attacking people. Roman makes people fear him. Solo is making people angry at him. Solo is going to have to deal with Kevin Owens when he comes back. Solo is going to have to deal with Randy Orton. He's going to have to deal with Cody Rhodes. He's going to have to deal with Roman Reigns, who I am still really hoping, praying that he's the one who brings in Hikuleo. I just love that fantasy booking. That's mine.
Yeah, I know that's been a thing with you for a little bit, man. I know it. I like what you're saying as far as the differences between Roman and Solo. Solo is definitely building up his he's building up that hate list. People were putting he's gonna be on so many people's hit list, and it's gonna be reminiscent to remember when Bayley left Damage Control and everybody was like, I ain't messing with you. What? You beat us up for months and now you looking for friendship? What? Or reminiscent to when Jey Uso went to Monday Night Raw and left the Bloodline and everybody's like, what? No, I ain't messing with you, bro. And it took time for him to build that trust or whatever. I do believe there's could down the line at some point. It wouldn't be anytime soon, but there could be a story there with Solo where it's like he's kind of out left on his own, kind of like with Jey Uso. But right now he's definitely building up enemies. He wants there was a natural thing with Roman where it was like, yeah, we know that you could. There's potential that you could jump us because you have the bloodline, but also there's also great potential that you could beat my ass on your own. You know what I'm saying? So the people saw what he's willing to do to stay champion. But I will say with Solo, I think it's kind of the same thing in a way. That in his own way, he's proving that he's I will do anything to get what I want. I will sit up there and make you give me that title shot, or else I'm going to make you watch as I put your mentor through this table. I want you to see it. It's one thing to just do it. It's one thing to be here, you are watching this because I am making you watch this. I am trying to traumatize and torment you, So I think there's definitely something there as far as that goes, or he's I'm willing to do all that. And then he still goes through the table anyway. He gets his title shot. It's looking like it's going to be Solo versus the champion there, Cody Rhodes, at SummerSlam. I'm going to throw it over to P. What do you think about all this? The title match, retaining of the titles. Jacob comes in, shows his stuff, leading into the main event segment.
So, first and foremost, I think with DIY winning the titles, I think that was exactly how it was supposed to happen. It would look really bad to literally just have them win for the Toronto pop. Yeah. And then have them lose it. Not saying that you can't have, A-Town Down Under get it back, but it's way too soon. And they keep teasing like they're going to break up. So, I don't think I want them to have that just yet. No. Again, we're upset with Grayson Waller, but I feel like that speaks to who he is. Yeah. He looks out for himself. Him joining forces with Austin Theory within itself was him looking out for himself. Hey, you're a former champion. I haven't held a title. You were someone that was the chosen one. I'm the one that keeps getting in the ring and in the rooms with these names and, at least holding my own on the mic, but then getting my butt kicked. How about we come together and see what success that brings? Oh, we got tag titles at Mania. Look what that did. Yep. So but I feel like that was all a matter of self. He's always looking out for himself. And in that moment, I kind of felt for Waller. It's going to sound bad. I kind of felt for Waller because my thing is, and Grun, you may not know this, but in the Black community, we have this thing. When you see somebody running, you run. You don't investigate.
Yes, it's facts.
You run, you don't investigate. So the moment I see Grayson Waller running, if I'm Austin Theory, where are we going? Not where are you going? No, where are we going? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to run with you and then ask questions once we get there. Where was we running from? Oh, I wanted to work out. Man, you got to tell me about that. At least I got my cardio in. I don't like seeing white dudes in the suburbs jog. A lot of times I think they're running from something And then they think I'm chasing them. And I'm like, no, what's chasing us? Not me. What's chasing us? Okay.
Yeah,
Roger knows what I'm talking about. Roger knows what I'm talking about. When I see you run, I run. Okay. So it's partially on Austin Theory. But one, they showed how much of a monster Jacob Fatu is, which honestly may play into something bigger down the line of Jacob being like, kind of feeling himself like Solo did. 'Cause think about it. Solo was the enforcer of Roman. And when Roman wouldn't get his hands dirty and Solo was taking people out, what did that do? That caused Solo to then be like, all right, I'm feeling myself now. Then you have Solo making Jacob his enforcer. And now Jacob's like, well, all the things I can do in the ring, what I'm doing to people, what I can do, why am I answering to you? Maybe I should be the tribal chief. And it's this issue of the creation of making of, hey, I feel like I should be in this position. It's kind of like the Ulafala is poisoning people. That's what I'm thinking. The Ulafala poisons people and it's causing and it's causing, like, it's the reason why Jimmy didn't want Jay to wear it. I'd rather Roman wear it. He's already been poisoned. I don't want you to be poisoned by it. And then now Solo has it. Now our little brother's poisoned. But it's not just you get poisoned by it, but whoever's the closest to it also gets poisoned by it, which is why Jay was the next in line. And then Solo was the next in line. Now maybe Jacob's the next in line. Grun said he feels like Roman made people fear him, where Solo makes people angry. I disagree. I feel like Roman made people respect him, where Solo's making people fear him. And I feel like it's kind of like when you have a child. And with a child, you want your child to respect you, not fear you. Because if your child respects you, they'll never try to try you. They'll never raise your hand to you. You can have a good relationship with this child. But a child that fears you one day is going to get big. They're going to get strong. They're going to, or at least they feel that way. And they're going to ball up their fist and they're going to try you. And I feel like that's what we're dealing with. Solo is trying to rule through fear, whereas Roman tried to rule through power and respect. I have the power of the bloodline, but I have the respect via what I do in that ring. I feel like because Solo does not have the accolades that Roman does, and he does not have the respect that Roman does, all he can use is the power. And when you have power without respect, it's just power with fear. It's like when you have a good president versus a dictator. A dictator can't use respect because they haven't earned it. They took that power, but what they can do is use that fear. But with a good president, they have the power, but it is the respect that makes you not want to try them. It's the respect that makes you want to be mindful about your decisions and things like that. So that's how I see it. I see it as Roman was the president that you may not have liked what he did, but you respected it. Solo is the dictator. Because think about it. He took the bloodline by force. I'm the tribal chief now. And so I like where they're going with this, but I do see that there might be a mutiny eventually happening. But I digress. I think having it happen the way it happened, with Jacob being the first one out there, wrecking shop after wrecking shop, then they come out and they do what they do, I think was pivotal to pretty much showing like, hey, this is the new bloodline. I just also feel like Cody was dumb as hell going out there by himself, but because why would you do that? That was just like,
because he champ and he feel like he got to stand on business.
No, here's the thing. You may be the champion and you may have a 95 plus overall, okay? Your popularity may have been increased by having a title in my GM mode, but that does not change the fact.
Plus 10.
Yeah, you get that plus 10, but that does not change the fact that you are surrounded by Tongans and Samoans. There's 4 of them in the ring. There's one of you, and even if one other person helps you, you're still outnumbered. One dude literally cannot take a DDT. You DDT him, he goes, fuck that me. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, like you were talking about standing on business. Standing on business does not just mean I'm gonna run in to the fire without a plan or whatever. No, standing on business also means I have a plan. So that way, if it don't work, at least I had a plan going into it. You ran out there, got yourself surrounded, and then got Randy put through a table trying to help you. To me, that's not standing on business. That's standing on stupidity. I don't be like Con. That's like you get in the ring, right? Con, that's like your ass as my manager gets in the ring. And the set's all the way back at home. I'm the only one in the locker room, and you get surrounded by Jordan Cage's crew, right? Now I gotta come out there and save you, and it's now still 3-on-2, and I can hold my own as much as I want to. I'm the baddest man in Emerge Wrestling right now. I'm the baddest man in Indiana Wrestling right now. I'm one of, if not the baddest man in all the Midwest, probably the East Coast, West Coast, whole goddamn world. But at the end of the day, no matter how bad I am, if I come in there and that numbers game gets the best of me, when I get up later on, I'm coming to see about you, Con, because you put me in that situation. As your boy, I had to come help you, because if I don't, I gotta be the one that has to pull a Kevin Hart. Hey, look who's alive, because you survived the jump. Like, I ain't gonna have me go through that shit.
Listen, it begs the question. Can 195 overall hold their own against 385 overalls? Do you think that in a tornado tag, WWE 2K? I don't think so, bro. I think that let's
be fair. They're not 485 overalls. Okay. Solo may be at 85. Jacob's probably at 89. Tama is probably somewhere between an 83 and an 86. And Tonga Low is probably a 70, 75. Let's be honest. Okay, but either way,
overall in the mid 70s.
I'm about to say, because the low blow to the booty cheeks, and then the low blow, and then he also punches his brother in the forehead. And mind you, I'm not clowning, homie. I promise you, I'm not. Right. I'm just saying, to me, your stats are probably low, and that's why it happened that way. If your stats are too low, we got to raise his stats in the game, so that way his low blows, they go the way they're supposed to. I'm trying to help you out. Your stats are not what they're supposed to be. Right. I'm about to go in there right now. I'm gonna raise your stats in the game. We'll get you right.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to do it. But all in all, I thought it was a decent episode of SmackDown. I honestly think Raw has really been, like, in my opinion, the hotter show. But I think that's always been by trying to be by design. But I thought this was a solid show to move things along and set stuff up for SummerSlam. I really do. Before we get out of here, because we do got to slide real quick. I know, Grun, you had some signing news you wanted to go over really fast. If you wanted to bring that up, we have a new signing to WWE. Who do we got, man?
We got Stephanie McCurr, who was just at Forbidden Door battling Mercedes Moné in a losing effort, I believe. She's gotten some heat from the latest I've heard. It's mainly fans, because she canceled the shows that she had agreed to before signing with WWE. But she's also a diehard Rey Mysterio fan who's got a story where she tried to sell hot dogs for tickets to a show, to get money to buy tickets for a show in Mexico when she was 14. Rey was going to be at it, and she wasn't able to get the money in time to buy a ticket before it sold out. How she's talked about how she idolizes Rey Mysterio. So I think if there's heat on her, like, she probably is thinking she doesn't have a lot of time for an opportunity to work with or meet Rey Mysterio before he retires. So, I mean, like, I can't blame her for, like, this is my dream. I want to meet my hero, my idol. But I mean, like, she's gonna be moved to NXT. Her and Julia. Apparently, some fans are mad about it, but WWE has said it's because she doesn't have as much experience working in a WWE adjacent environment, and so they're going to give both of them that opportunity to work in NXT, learn how to wrestle the WWE way, even if people may not like it from the past. But right now, the WWE way is pretty damn good.
Yeah, it is. It is. P, any quick thoughts on that signing before we slide out of here?
I know people are mad about it. Somebody was saying how unprofessional it was, but let's look at it this way. Your job can fire you whenever they want to, and they don't have to give you a reason. And they will do it with the quickness. We have heard throughout history of people getting their contracts not renewed or getting their contracts ended. And these were loyal people and people who worked hard, whatever may have you. You have the right to quit your job if you want to be able to. A lot of people get so stuck on loyalty. They may want to talk about contracts, whatever may have you. I look at this as if you have an opportunity that can help you change your life or help you accomplish your goals, would I prefer you go about business in a professional way? Yes. But knowing what I've known in the employment force, I mean, I used to work in workforce development. Jobs can fire you because it's Tuesday and they seem fit, especially if you work in a state where they don't have to tell you or give you a reason why they're letting you go. They can just do it. So that's how I feel about it. I think this could be a good signing. It could be a fun signing. It's just one of those. Let's wait and see.
I agree. Listen, man, not everybody's getting opportunities to go to NXT. Not everybody's getting contracts handed to them in wrestling. If you can get it, you got to go get it, because most of the time I see promotions all the time where, guess what? Oh, somebody got called up to the main stage and now they got to cancel bookings for my show. And if it's a good promotion, they usually put out something public like, hey, just wanted to be transparent and let our fans know that so-and-so is not going to be at this show, because obviously you all saw that on WWE's page, there was a signing. They signed them, which means they cannot make this commitment. But we want to take our time to congratulate so-and-so on signing a contract with the WWE. We wish them the best of luck, blah, blah, blah. If you're really in there, if you're really in the pocket like that when it comes to the business, then you're happy for these people. Fans, and here's the thing, what really grind my gears about it, the fans that are mad that she's canceling bookings wasn't going to those shows anyway. They're just looking for something to be mad about online. You weren't going to that show to see her. You're not mad. You're not mad because you're not going to see her and you paid, your money to see it, because you're not going. You're just sitting in your seat mad because it's like, oh, she canceled bookings. I find that offensive. If I were in the business, I would never do that. Well, guess what? You're not in the business and you don't know what you would do if you were in that situation. So just sit down and be quiet and let the people who are actually grinding and trying to make moves in the business do it. So, that's my thoughts on it. Congratulations to her. I hope it all works out for her. But I think this episode worked out really well. I'm going to go ahead and give my fellas here a chance to plug anything they got to plug. And then I got a couple of announcements to make as far as the show goes. Grunt, I'm going to go ahead and let you throw it and grind. And I know you be out there grinding, bro. So anything you want to plug, go right ahead.
You can catch me on Twitch at Grunmeister, twitch.tv/Grunmeister every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I am going to be doing my Grun's Room Smackdown review show, where we review the previous week's Smackdown and we go over what's going to happen or what is scheduled to happen in that same Friday night. I've also started doing some My GM mode in WWE 2K24, where I challenge myself to try and make some good booking decisions.
Yes, man. I love My GM mode. I think that's cool that you're doing that. That's definitely something I want to lock into and see how you navigate that. That's fun. So I definitely want to check that out. And we do appreciate the work that you're putting in on Grun's Room, the Smackdown review show. Really appreciate you putting out some good content that's available now, y'all, on all major podcasting platforms. But I'm going to throw it to my man P, who's always got something moving. He's also a grinder in many different ways. P, what do you got moving? What do you got to plug?
All right, so
look at that
coming
beautiful
Friday.
thing.
Oh yeah, look at that. But this coming Friday, I'm going to be defending my championship against Uncle Ruckus. I'm not Uncle Ruckus. I'm sorry. I mean King Kong Coleman at City Championship Wrestling. The following week, I'm going to be defending the championship as long as I'm beating Coleman. Like I don't lose. Against a damn Ninja Turtle, because I didn't get to do it last month. And it's sad because my brother really wants to fight a Ninja Turtle, and they put me up against a Ninja Turtle, so I feel bad for him. But tough titty. And then August 3rd, a man who I got love and respect for, but this ain't about love and respect. This is about being the top of the food chain. I get to finally go up against the big bad kaiju,
Mm.
O'Shea Edwards.
Mm.
And this is about to be a fight. It's about to be a brawl. I know I'm going to be sore afterwards, but that's how I like it. Because if I leave a fight sore, but still with my hand raised, that let me know I did what I had to do for the tribe, which lets me know it's all worth the sacrifice and all worth the effort I put in. Because I can be sore, but we still got this.
Yes, no, man. All the things that you're doing in motion, I know you always stay with something. Right now, you're really locked into your title reign. You got a couple of big defenses coming up, and then a huge defense at Emerge 80. Man, that's going to be a heavy situation. All the stuff that you are doing, the run that you are on in this last year has just been something that people need to take notice of. I think that people are taking notice, and yeah, man, I just think that you're going to be rewarded for the run that you're on right now, and there's going to be some cool things in the works for you moving on down the line. But guys, there's cool things. No problem, bro. No problem at all. But guys, there's things moving here in your house. A lot of things moving. I'm really excited, y'all. Like, real talk. I'm really excited about everything that we got moving here for the show. I mean, so many great interviews that we have coming down the line. We just dropped the interview there with Misa Kate. Her interview was just this past Friday, available on all major podcasting platforms and our YouTube. It's there. And then Monday night is huge for us, as we have Donovan Dijak coming to In Your House for a live show. Guys, that's going to be a movie for sure. Make sure you're in that. It's live, guys. This is your opportunity to ask questions to Donovan Dijak about his WWE run, about his time in Ring of Honor, all the stuff that he's doing. What's next for Donovan Dijak? This is your guys' opportunity. So take advantage of that if you can be in there. And also that podcast will be available after we drop it. Guys, we're doing these Sunday house parties. I'm doing my solo shot. We got Donovan Dijak coming. Next week, we got Big Zoe. The week after that, we're going to have Bill Alfonso. But it's a lot of things. We're growing, guys. We are growing. And with growth comes evolution. And we want to evolve. We want to move forward. The reason why In Your House is still here 5 years later and we're still making waves is because we look to evolve. We look to expand. We look to give opportunity. And just this past week, I put out something about we were looking for a female co-host. And I said it earlier at the top of this show. I was very, very overwhelmed and excited at the response that we had. And we've got a couple of different things moving with this. We're having some ideas here. But I will say that there was at least one person. There was a couple of different ladies, respectfully, that were very qualified for this position. I mean, grinders that work towards, wrestling media, and we want that. In a time where women and what they're doing is being highlighted so prominently, we want to be part of that evolution, and we want to be part of that growth to help, these women find positions of prominence for themselves. And I was very excited with one of the applicants who came. We're actually going to bring her on the show this next week, looking like it's going to be Wednesday night. That is kind of what we scheduled. And I'm happy to make that announcement here that that this first applicant here, she's a female podcast host. She's been in professional wrestling since 2019 as a backstage correspondent, a wrestling pre-show co-host, and she's actually been hosting her own indie wrestling show for almost a year now. And she was really excited for this opportunity, and we're excited to give it to her. Devin Lee Designed Annie O'Neill is coming to In Your House, and we're excited about that. We're excited to have her on the show, everything that she could bring to the table. I'm excited. I mean, just having a conversation with this young woman makes me think that she's a good fit for what we do. Good energy, positive energy. Somebody who has a great insight on professional wrestling, and seems like she would fit right into what we're doing. So Annie O'Neill is going to come on In Your House. We're going to give her some run. Be nice to her household. She's new to what we do in our style, but I'm excited to bring her on. She's actually World's Most Dangerous Podcaster recommended, so that's always a good thing as well. I'm excited, man. Annie O'Neill coming in your house. Grun, what do you think, man?
You know what? I think this is a great opportunity, not just for us to grow, but to add new viewpoints, different viewpoints. And I hope it works out. I hope she fits in really well.
Yeah, man. Me too. P, you heard the name come up. You were like, oh yeah, she's, she could fit well. What's your thoughts, man, as far as her actually getting some official run on the show?
Hey, how I look at everything, it's all a matter of how puzzle pieces fit together. I think she could fit in perfectly into the dynamic that we have. And now all it's going to take is just seeing how she meshes with the group. And so I think she can be a great fit. I think that our chemistry can all be there. And all I ask is that she's herself when she comes on and she brings her best. And I ask that we bring our best and we be ourselves, because I believe what makes In Your House special is that while in your house, we are home. And when you're home, you got to be yourself, right? So let's just be ourselves. Let's have fun. Let's do the damn thing. Annie O'Neill, I want to know how you feel. I want to know what's the deal when you are in your house. So step up and show people why in this tryout you deserve that spot. Because I believe we're still trying to figure out who gets the spot, right? So this is her tryout to see if it's hers or
this is a filling out process here. Yes, but I mean, be transparent. I was impressed by the interview that I had with her. So like, there's a couple others that we'll give some shots to.
And the resume was lightweight fire. The resume was fire. And that's one thing I will say about anybody who, whether it's you want to be part of a podcast team, whether you're trying to get a booking for professional wrestling, whether you're just trying to get yourself out there, having a resume is so important because it can allow me to know what I'm getting from you. And one thing that I think that stood out about her was she came in with a resume. She had Carfax to show us what she could bring to the table. But on top of that, though, the presentation was professional. This wasn't just, I want this, give me a shot. It was, hey, this is why I think I could be a good fit. And I respect that.
Me too. Very excited for what she can bring to the table. Once again, Annie O'Neill coming to In Your House. We're gonna see what she can do, but I feel confident. So guys, this was another great episode. We got to slide off of here. Thank you guys for coming in, making the chat so active. And it was great. Guys, you already know Alakon House across all the social media platforms, X, IG, and on Facebook, and In Your House Pod on X. That's HOWSE, and the W stands for work. So you guys already know the vibes. You guys already know what it is. For the voice, Josh Joseph, for Hypocrisy Jones, for the Grunmeister, for the world's most dangerous podcaster Paragon, I am Alakon, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace. See dead people. Yeah. Peace out, y'all. Peace out, y'all. Household. You already know what it is. They not like us out here.
Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to school with him. Walking down the whole time, I know he got. Peace out, y'all. We'll see you. Donovan Dijak coming on In Your House. Peace out, y'all. Already know them vibes. Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con, in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast, it's like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.